Hello, it's Deb here from Not a Rehearsal, and I'd like to say Happy International Women's Day. Only, I'm not really a supporter of International Women's Day. Yes, I absolutely think we need to celebrate and recognise everything that has been done to achieve equal rights for women, equal pay for women, and the work that is still ongoing. I absolutely believe that we need to support that. But when I say I don't like International Women's Day, it's because so many of the forum that have been set up to enable women to support each other have turned into an excuse to be man-haters, to belittle and deride men. And that, to me, isn't anything to celebrate. Yes, there are fantastic men out there, and yes, there are awful men out there, just as there are fantastic women and awful women out there. And for me, we can truly only celebrate International Women's Day when we recognise the equality across all genders and sexes. Now, I am an absolute advocate for raising awareness of domestic abuse. I've been through abusive relationships myself. I work with survivors of domestic abuse. That doesn't mean I'm a man-hater. In fact, I have heard stories from men who have been on the receiving end of abuse from women that actually make me ashamed to be a woman. You know, that doesn't show that there is equality here just because men are being just as abused as women. That's not equality. For me, equality comes when we all recognise that we all have equal importance and equal validity. And that's going to take a very long time. And that, for me, starts in the home. It starts when we learn to respect each other, when we learn to challenge unacceptable behaviour, whether that comes from men or from women, when we learn to challenge unacceptable language from men or from women, when we all learn that empowering language is equally as important for men as it is for women, then we have gained true equality. And then we can go back out into the world, into the workplace, knowing that we really are championing each other as human beings. You know, International Women's Day isn't about standing on a soapbox and belittling those women who choose to take their clothes off for fame and for money. It isn't about belittling those women who choose to enter the sex industry. Those, for me, are simple gains. They are campaigning to get cheap headlines. Why don't we start to campaign for the rights of those women and those men who are forced into the sex industry, who are forced to perform all sorts of acts against their will for fear of abuse, for the threat of what may or may not happen to them if they don't perform that act. They are being forced to do things that nobody should ever be asked to do so without consent. And that, for me, is what we should be championing. Whether they are men or whether they are women, we should be looking for equal rights for human beings. Getting equal rights for women is fantastic, but let's not just champion equal rights and equal pay. Let's look at every other aspect of society, because to really start making a change, we need to start going into homes and schools and challenging unacceptable behaviour and unacceptable language. That is when we will really promote change, and that is when we can truly say that we as women have succeeded and made a change. That's when I will be celebrating properly International Women's Day.